Welcome back to Ballers World Live. This is your host, James Ship. I'm sitting here again with Rod Watson, Alexis Williams,
Hey.
and Miss Lulu Gonzalez, our
Hey,
special
guys.
guest host.
Lulu.
And now, for this last little bit, we have a great call-in guest. We have a special interview with Moochie Norris. Let's go and patch him in. Let's see.
Let's get him on.
Mr. Norris, you there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is James Ship, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. How you doing, James?
Moo.
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, we're going to start it off. We're going to
Go for it, Alexis.
All right. Hi, Moochie. It's Alexis.
How you doing, Alexa?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I want to start this off by getting your thoughts on the OKC Houston series. What are you thinking with Westbrook and Harden? What are you thinking?
I think it's going to be a good series. It may go down to the wire every game, but the Rockets beat them 3-1 all season long, and they have 2-1 right now, and I think they're going to end up sweeping them.
Yeah, well, Moo Rod here. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Rob?
Good. Watching the series in games 1 and 2, it's really a great chess match. I'm enjoying watching, Harden and the Westbrook matchup. So the one thing I'm really starting to notice is, the team that can get those role players involved and score those points in the paint seems to be having the advantage, and the Rockets are definitely, doing a great job of that so far this series.
Absolutely. The role players are going to be definitely important, but we know Oklahoma doesn't have that kind of bench. Everything comes from Westbrook and whatever he passes out. The other members of the team, the other players, they're going to have to come up big if they're going to have a chance to even win in one game. Because as you can see, Westbrook has to do too much of everything.
Correct.
He has to carry the load. Harden has the luxury of actually going out, and he has both candidates for Sixth Man of the Year this year, in Gordon and Lou Williams. So you can see they made that run while Harden was on the bench, got him right back in the game, and then there you have it.
Well, right now you're doing a lot of coaching yourself too, and obviously you're commentating, watching, covering the Rockets games. But what are you doing outside of that as well with your time?
Just training, like you said. I'm doing stuff with the Rockets all the time. Like, I just got finished watching the game, and I got to go in there and talk on the radio like I am with you guys about the game. So this is what I do. I try to stay close to the Rockets. They keep me close. They made me an ambassador this year. So that's all I do, man. I'm just trying to pass the game on. Can't take it with me, so I'm just trying to pass it on.
Well, man, we missed those heydays with you, Franchise, Cat.
The big old afro.
Catino, Cato. You guys putting in work. As far as the physicality of the game in the playoffs, I'm enjoying the chippiness that I'm seeing in this first series. Typically, a couple of years ago, all the games were blowouts. They weren't very competitive. I really like the competitiveness of the first round in both the East and the West. Now, speaking of the East, with this series with Boston and Chicago, right now Chicago is up 2-0 going back to their, taking the home court advantage back. And obviously we know what's going on with Isaiah with the loss of his sister, and our condolences go out to him. Do you think Isaiah should have played be playing in this series? And do you also think that right now it looks like the Celtics are done?
It's hard to say. He didn't play bad. I mean, it's not like he played bad.
He killed.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing making that happen. Trying to do that after such a tragic loss. Losing a family member like that, waking up to that call, and you're in the heat of making a run after they won the East. No, I don't. I mean, it's feel. Some people can handle the loss, and they can go out there and play, and then some people, they can't function out there. So we've seen a little bit of both with him. He's playing well, but he has no emotions, and that's unlike him as a player.
Correct.
So I think it's definitely he's not himself. So, but he's playing well. You can't do nothing but hope they go on the road and he get it together with a few days in between, and be able to pick it up and carry his team, because they need him to be that guy if they're going to be successful.
Well, what is
as far as the physicality in the league?
Yeah,
terrible. It comes down to hand checking and things like that. If you incidentally hit somebody in the face, it's a flagrant foul and stuff like that. And back in the days when I first got in the league, there was no layup rule. You were gonna get knocked to the floor, slam, punch, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You got to go to the free throw line and make shots. And now that has been taken from the game. So it's just a different kind of game. It's being played outside the arc.
Well, it's interesting. You talk about, back in your day how it was, basically no layup rule. You look at the Memphis and the San Antonio series, and you saw their head coach with his comments, coming out being highly upset. And he got fined, and the team stood up for him and said, hey, we're going to cover that fine for you. When you look at that, the physicality, in that series and him being upset with the foul calls, do you think the officiating in today's game is, there are just way too many fouls called, and even the level of the fouls? I mean, when I watch and look at some of the replays of those calls that game, it was just ridiculous, and I have to agree with him.
Too many ticky-tack fouls and not enough, hard fouls being given out. I mean, you can't really foul that hard, so it's not going to happen too much. It ends up being, like I said, a technical foul in the ball and so forth, but that game, I watched that game, and it was crazy. I mean, Memphis is one of the most physical teams in the league, if not the most physical team as far as Gasol and Lucky Lefty go. I mean, we know Zebo for years. That's the way he plays with, bumping and bruising in there. So it was crazy to see the total of free throws based on San Antonio going to the hole, maybe about 16, 17 shots, they said, in the paint. They shot like 30-something free throws.
That's right.
And Memphis went like 40 times, and they only shot like, I think, 18 free throws.
Yeah,
so
that's
right.
One guy shot more than their whole team.
Yes.
And you're already playing against the Spurs, so you're already playing with one hand tied behind your back.
Pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Absolutely.
Hey, Moochie, this is Lulu. I'm just a guest on the show, but I really have one question, and one question only. Your 2004 Rockets versus 2017 Rockets, 7 games. I'm talking real physicality, real basketball.
Yeah.
Who's going to win?
Yeah.
Lou.
No chance. No chance.
You say no chance
They only
yet?
got one hard. We had 3 of them.
Tell him, Moo, pick one. Pick your poison.
Yeah, we had 3 of them. So, it was, it's a different game. I mean, like I said, we played on the island. So, when we got mismatches and things like that, we couldn't zone it up.
Yeah.
It was a different thing.
Absolutely.
And then like I said, now with the touch fouls, I would have lived at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, how do you feel about these players who?
Just for the hell of it.
Is it, he got Metro? No, I just wanted to know how. I wanted to know how do you feel about these star players who are actually sitting out more than they're actually playing, and then get mad when they're not,
that's a great
nominated for MVP. How can you be MVP if you didn't play all game?
Don't understand.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sitting out, we didn't know what resting was. Resting was when you was off.
That's
resting
it.
was when you were off.
Yep. Or fourth
When you was
quarter
on
when
the
you was
plane,
up 20 or
right?
Ball
30.
went out of bounds.
Yeah.
Those are the moments that are of playing this game that make them worthwhile.
Exactly.
You're able to do those things and come out and perform anyway. And then we start finding out what kind of player you really are. Michael Jordan, those guys didn't take off. Either you was injured or you was hurt.
That's right.
The only way you could get out of the game. There was no, I'm going to rest you for the next game and this, that, and the other, sit out.
Yeah.
And, they sitting out against major games. Like I watched San Antonio and Miami
Yeah.
sit their players out when they were the 2 top teams in the league, which made no sense at all. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not a fan of it, but they say it prolongs the game and does some other things, but I don't see it.
Well, on the flip side, Moo, you being a fan, how do you feel about that? Meaning, you say you're going to take Marty to a game, your son, right? You're going to take him to a game. You're excited, and you learn that night that LeBron's not playing. Mm-hmm. And you just paid $250 for these tickets.
Right, for these tickets.
mad.
That's wild.
Yeah, do that at home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it on the road to your fans.
And I feel like the teams, and tell me if you disagree with this, Moochie, the team should reimburse the fans if the players are going to sit. If you have a star player that's sitting, then you should give me a 24-hour heads up, and if I don't want to come to the game, you should reimburse me for my tickets.
Basically, I think that's where the problem is you're robbing the fans. The fans
right.
come out in every
Definitely.
city to see the best players. Mm-hmm. So if you're not going to have the best the best players playing to rest, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Well, last,
understand.
I want to get your thoughts on this, the Portland and the Warriors series. We just got word that KD's not going to be playing tonight. So, obviously, that's a 1 versus 8. But I do believe with Lillard and the matchups that they have, they can pose a problem and maybe still a game tonight. Do you see that being a possibility going into tonight's game?
They made it without him.
I mean, they need KD to be playing. I mean, he's obviously has been the best player for them this year.
Mm-hmm.
But they're capable. They were good before KD got there. They made them even better.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this series that they're in right now, they should be able to pretty much, walk through that series. There'll be some good games, but they should be able to walk through the series and win the game.
Right, they were the winningest team.
Well, let me
in
ask you this:
basketball
would you be concerned right now with the health of Kevin Durant, or do you think this is just more precaution on the Golden State Warriors side with sitting him out? When you got a star player like this, that you definitely, when you made the move in all seasons, to have him this time and to have him healthy, and that's not the case. Would you be concerned going forward in the rest of the playoffs?
No, I don't think it's going to be an issue with them. Hold on.
They're, at the end of the day, Rod, they're the
actually,
winningest team in basketball.
I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. I just think, that's another team that has enough talent to be productive, whether all of them play or not.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Well, Moo, I know you're doing training. How can people connect with you? You're doing training across, the U.S. and you're working with TJ Ford and his team. How can people connect with you on social media? Can you hear me there? Did we lose him?
He got that
Yeah.
metro.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, lost you there. I was asking you. You're doing a lot of work in the off season now, working with TJ Ford and their team, and AAU. How can people connect with you as well and follow you? And I know you post a lot of training videos. You're big on fundamentals, and that's one of the things I've always loved about you and in your game.
You can reach me at Moochie Norris on Twitter, Moochie Norris basketball workout, Moochie Norris workouts on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Moochie Norris on Facebook. Like you said, I'm big on fundamentals. I'm just trying to pass this game on, and that's what's missing a lot from, especially with the younger generation. They're being taught to play the game at a high level, but they're not being taught the little simple things of the game, little intricate games inside the games, and that's where your basic and your fundamentals come in, because you're going to need those.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, man, we really appreciate you
Thank
coming
you so
on.
much,
Thank you.
Moochie.
Thank you.
We hope we can actually have you back and have you as an in-studio guest here soon.
Yes.
So take care. Much love to you, bro, and we'll be in touch soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks for having me.
take care. Later.